Welcome back to the Youth Academy Road to Glory. Today we end the transfer window and we'll be looking to improve the squad as a result of yesterday's sale to Manchester United. It's always a really tough balancing act in a save like this, where you get the section of the audience that want you to fully commit to your youth academy, and when someone gets sold, bring through the new youth players in their place and concentrate on homegrown talent. Then you get the other side of the viewing audience that when, in this example, a player gets sold from the starting 11, you guys then get frustrated that I'm not buying anyone and I'm bringing through the youth academy players. So I'd appreciate your kind of understanding on both sides, that sometimes I'll focus on the youth and sometimes I'll buy someone. And if we could avoid just nasty comments either way about complaining about doing it the other way and not that way, then I'd appreciate it, and it keeps a friendlier environment in the comment section and people don't start bickering with one another. Just a polite request, that's all. As we crack on today, we'll end the transfer window with Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup, which is certainly an opportunity to progress. We've won 3 straight games in all competitions, and other than Brentford, we haven't actually lost a game to anyone other than them for a little while, not since Leeds and a rather dodgy month of November. So we'll play Rangers, and we've got Tottenham in the league, which will sim. We'll play West Ham and then see what's happening in the FA Cup should we get through. I do have some options on my shortlist as well with regards to potential players to bring in. If I am to buy, then I am going to look to buy in the right mid spot. I'm also probably going to look to improve at centre mid and move Castro on. I'm also looking to move McCloskey on because McDonald will drop to the bench. And I might be tempted to bring in a fullback as well. But at present, I'm unsure on that front. But certainly I'm open to a central midfielder. And certainly I'm open very much so to a wide man. So I have some names on my shortlist that I shall show you now. I've also got people out scouting a couple of others that should come back before the end of the transfer window as well. With regards to fullback, or even as a right mid, there's Sofiane Sissoko. Physically, he's pretty decent. Technically, he doesn't excel anywhere, but his tackling's good, his crossing's good, his passing's not quite so good. So he could be more of a defensive winger, perhaps, although wouldn't really offer much going forward. But if I want a fullback, he's probably my go-to at the moment. With low high work rates, that would probably suit a defensive option as well. Not really looking for a centre-back at the minute, but I've got a couple of people here should I think about signing there. With regards to an out-and-out centre mid, there's Jacek Wilk from St. Gallen in Switzerland, who looks pretty decent. Physically, he's okay. Technically, good in the pass, good on the ball, decent finishing as well, and can tackle. So definitely would be an improvement on Castro that we currently have in that role. And then Lasse Schultz is a player that we looked at recently, and then he kind of drifted away. But with great pace and agility and really good technical stats as well, I think he's my priority on the right-hand side of midfield. So I won't go for him yet, because I'm waiting on a couple of other scout reports, but he is probably going to be the one that we go for. Put a pin in it. Let's get ourselves through in the FA Cup, and then we'll see how the transfer window develops from there. Please do continue to drop the videos a like if you're enjoying the save, and make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss out on any more. And hopefully you'll enjoy it for the rest of the save moving forward. Let's go and win in the FA Cup. Queen's Park Rangers have Seny Dieng still in goal for them. They've got Krzysztof Piątek up top. You'll recognise him from a couple of seasons where he kind of burst onto the scene and then kind of faded away again. They've got Chris Willock on the left, Çalhanoğlu, different Çalhanoğlu, at left back. They've got a decent team. The majority of those players are in the mid-70s, so this is by no means a walkover and an easy progression. I have changed a couple of players in my team to try and give them some extra football, and we should, hopefully, be able to get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. It'd be great to go on a cup run like this in our first season at this level, and hopefully a good cup run can continually inspire some good league form. Fleming with the throw. Back to McMillan. Into the middle. Lovely ball. McDonald is there. Bustamante. And here's Fleming. He's been on the score sheet recently. He's found his goal-scoring touch. But not on this occasion. It was bending, it was whipping, but it didn't quite do it enough. Not a bad effort, though. Piątek support. Sam Field. Is he going to shoot? Is he going to find a pass? Back to Andre Dozel. And Piontek again. Now, he will shoot. Although, it weren't great. Andre Dozel. It's a nice ball into Lamproux. Can't get near him. And in well to Christophe Piontek. Back to Lamproux again. It's really beautifully put together. And it's the pole that gives the R's the lead. After 32 minutes, his last effort was terrible. That one, even still, wasn't struck very cleanly, but found its way into the back of the net. Not necessarily a 1-2, but a 1-2-3. Maybe Richardson should have done better with it, actually. Definitely. Kake down the line. Into Piontek. Good block. It'll be a corner QPR. It's getting dangerous now. We're making more positive changes. Salinas and Edwards on. Got much more attacking talent on the field now. And fingers crossed that will help bring about an equalising goal. Helped my players actually took control of the ball. McDonald nearly cost me a goal once. And then nearly cost me a goal again by getting in the way of that. He nearly deflected that into his own blooming net. Nicely across here to McDonald. Here comes the overlapping runner Ferreira. I'm going to drive inside and try and time this for Salinas to be onside, which he is. Nacho. I don't understand why lace shots can be so accurate, but finesses just don't work. Ferreira's here. McDonald's going to go again. I'm going to have a hopefully good first touch. And Salinas. Well, the obvious thing to do here is that. 6 minutes to go. We're level. Not sure we really deserve it from our overall play, but we have ourselves a goal, and hopefully our FA Cup run is still alive. A replay is what we're going to have to do in the FA Cup, but a replay is better than going out. It's not ideal, but thankfully we don't have a busy month of February, so we can deal with it. But we evidently do need an extra little bit of quality in the squad, be that in the starting lineup or to make the impact off the bench. I am heavily reliant upon Edwards and Salinas, and they were both involved in our equalising goal there. Wait for some scout reports to come back, and then we will certainly improve. Novak on loan to Monza for 6 months to try and rekindle his career. That is the aim for him. If he can get some good growth out there, that would be absolutely superb. So, still needing a bit more depth. But that is why we're going to go and buy someone. Now, there's not enough time left in the window for this scout report to actually fully complete. However, Ismail Osorio is certainly going to be pretty good in comparison with Jacek Wilk. Osorio, 3-star, 2-star compared to Wilk's 4-star, 4-star. Wilk is 6'3", Osorio 5'11". He's going to have good passing and good ball control, which is where Wilk is good as well. I am sorely tempted, actually, to go for the Pole, I think, over the Colombian. We'll buy this guy, and then we'll look to buy Lasse Schultz as well. We've obviously got plenty of money available thanks to the sales we've made elsewhere in the window so far. £7.6 thousand a week is what he's on wage-wise, and absolutely at the Premier League level we should be paying him something like that. What's important, which is okay, I don't think he's going to start ahead of someone like Samaras or Bustamante at the moment, but he's absolutely better. He's going to have 26 grand. He's absolutely going to be better than Castro on the bench, isn't he? Now, Lasse Schultz is a player I'm also going to look to buy, so let's go and get him in now. 6.5 valuation, around 5.6 apparently is what we could get him for. Again, don't want to pay the release clause. Willing to accept, which indeed they are. So it looks like 2 new players might be coming in here that are significantly better than what we currently have, and also those that are out on loan with us as well. Definitely going to be an improvement in that right midfield role. He's got right mid in his positional list, so I will try and change his default position to right mid. And then Senor, or Herr, should I say, considering he's German, Herr Schörner can come in. And we have ourselves 2 new signings. Tottenham Hotspur away then in the Premier League next. Emi Martinez in goal for them. Jed Spence is 84 rated now at right wing back. Udogi's 87 on the left as well. Bernardo Silva is in the middle for them and with the captain's armband. They've got Leon Bailey, Brian Hill, and then Traore, Lassina Traore up top. We are seeing a debut here, though, for Lasse Schultz on the right-hand side of my midfield, currently wearing number 17. We'll redo squad numbers in the new season, of course. And then we might yet also see a debut for the Polish centre mid we just signed as well. Though, as we take a 1-0 lead here through Tom Edwards, we might not need him. 1-0 up at half-time, minimal efforts as you can see, and if Tottenham don't start creating sooner rather than later, they are going to be in trouble here. We might be able to get ourselves a win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which would be a real turn-up for the books. To have gotten 2-2 draws at Stamford Bridge and Anfield has shown that we have the capability to get results against the big sides in away games. We very nearly take a 2-0 lead through Salinas there, but unable to, on this occasion, get the ball in the back of the net. I'd like to think from here we'll at least get a point against Spurs, but so far they've shown a real lack of quality in the final third, and the win is definitely on the table for us. Building on the lead that we've got is exactly what happens. Tottenham didn't have a single shot in that second half, and those 3 points will put us in a very strong position in the mid-table now, I think, in the Premier League. The next game on the 2nd of February is the replay against QPR. We're 12 points clear of the relegation zone now, and 5 points off 7th. Suddenly, the season shifts. That said, we do have to bear in mind that March, we're not going to get many points from that month. We lost to Leeds earlier this season as well, so we know that they can beat us. So, we might be slightly loftier at the minute, but I'd expect that league position to come back down again by the end of the season. McMillan wants to play, but he's just not quite good enough at the moment to get in that starting lineup ahead of Barry Knox. We'll go through transfer deadline day now and see what else happens, but I don't know as there'll be any more incomings or outgoings at this stage. Big deal has gone through. Matteo Guendouzi moves within the Premier League to Liverpool from Newcastle. Hermannstadt have bid for Elliot Wilson. They can have him on loan on a short term. That's absolutely fine. And Eintracht Frankfurt would like Ruben Richardson. You can expect a firm get out of it from me there. Brennan Johnson's just moved to AC Milan, I think that was in deadline day. You can see that Gabriel has moved from Real Madrid to Borussia Dortmund. Andre Almeida's the third biggest deal so far. Ezequiel Zeballos now for £51.4 million moves. And Wilson loan agreement done. Good. Hopefully we'll see some good growth from a number of the players we've got on our shortlist at the minute. Jonathan Burkhardt has left Manchester United. Amad Diallo does too. We'll see if any of the Patreon players move within the save soon as well. Benjamin Šeško has now gone to Inter Milan. It's the second biggest deal of the window so far, of the day, so far. For £62.3 million from Monaco. Romelu Lukaku might be coming back to the Premier League, which fills me with dread a little bit. I don't necessarily want to see him back in the Premier League. Wilson now going out on loan, and hopefully he'll get some good experience and grow quite a bit. We've got a handful of players that are just not quite there yet, but they're not far away from being certainly able to be considered part of the first team squad. So I'm really hoping that they get some good growth this year for the remainder of this season, and then at the beginning of the next season they might grow yet further, and then we'll be part of the squad next season. Might even get some good growth before the end of the current season. So let's have a quick look and see the biggest deals in the transfer window that's just passed. If I search there, so Camavinga was done actually in September. So Camavinga to Arsenal is a move that went through at the beginning of the window, that was negotiated between windows. Jurien Timber, who we saw at Championship Wolverhampton Wanderers, now moves to Leipzig for £102 million. It's not going to help Wolves' promotion attempts to get back to the Premier League. Bruno Guimaraes has left Liverpool to go to Juventus. Guendouzi we saw on deadline day. Youssoufa Moukoko to Juventus. Intrigued to see how good he is at this stage of the save. Press the wrong button there. Let's have a look. Yusufa Makoko, what are you rated at, mate? 85. Looks pretty good. Kudus to Real Madrid. Gabriel Jesus has left Arsenal now as well at 29 years of age and 86 rated. Bentancur went through between windows as well. Amin Gouiri to Barcelona at 86 rated now. We've got Lucas Paqueta moving to Bayern Munich from Real Madrid. Sorry, from Barcelona. Speaking of Real Madrid, we saw that one. To Dortmund for Gabriel. Quinton Timber to Lazio. Both Timbers on the move. Zubamendi to Brighton. That will be a move that we'll see in our league campaign this year. Bayern Munich have signed Kolo Muani Bayern have sold Kolo Muani to go to Hoffenheim. Diogo Dalot has gone to Atletico Madrid. So Man United selling a number of players actually in this window. We'll give you a rundown of the Patreon players after we've had this game then against Queen's Park Rangers, as over £1 billion is spent on deadline day alone. We've made signings, of course, of our own. Youth Scouts still out. We should get those back relatively soon. And the game against QPR comes on the 2nd, and then it'll be West Ham, Southampton and Leeds that will play in the next episode because of the transfer action we've had in this episode. We'll do the replay against QPR, and now we've got scout reports as well, and then we'll be able to crack on moving forward. That'll be a 1-year loan deal for Phil Ziegler to go to Rakov, because that will go through at the beginning of the next season, so that'll be fine. Any Nigerian wonder kids? Potentially Deli Akpan, 5'9", 1.4 million. That's a good start down in Africa. What are we getting from Argentina? 1.6 million. Jose Paz. Again, a bright start there. Raul Montero might be okay. All right. I'm quite pleased then with Argentina and Nigeria so far. Let's have a look. Paz, centre mid, physically looks good enough already, technically. Ball control is good, dribbling's good, short passing's decent, crossing's not as amazing, but it's not bad. Definitely room to grow there. If we can train his passing, playmaker will take 4 weeks. He's going to continue to grow. We have the potential of a very good central midfielder in the works there. Deli Akpan looks like he also could be a very good centre mid or a wide man. Dribbling and ball control are good. Passing and crossing, not quite there. But if we can train the passing and crossing, then he might be a very capable right midfielder as well. So we'll go for wide playmaker, train his passing football. And we might have 2 stunners there. Raul Montero, not quite so good. So we will park him, I'm afraid. QPR look very similar to last time we played them. Although Luke Amos is into the midfield for this one. Chris Willett dropped to the bench. Charlie Kelman starts up top for them. Lamprey swaps sides as well as Duke McKenna comes in on the right-hand side. Got McGowan at centre-back this time around. You'll notice that Schultz will make his played debut for me now. And Vilk also as well. Schultz 6'2", Vilk 6'3". We've definitely added to the physical side of this team. Called Richardson out to that. And then he didn't go for the ball. It's not really worked for me that there, has it? Queen's Park Rangers again take the lead against me. Really heavy ball, so I bring Richardson out and then he just stops and stands there. Oh, Ruben! You've done me dirty there, pal. Nice tackle by Bustamante. Quickly looking for Edwards, who's dropped the shoulder. He's on that left foot. It's not got the accuracy of finish, though. It's a decent save by Dieng. And now Edwards is away himself. It's a little touch inside. Oh, you're so far offside there, Salinas, aren't you, mate? He's buried it really well, but he couldn't particularly miss from there. But it won't count. Finds Fleming, whose first-time pass is diabolical. So that'll be 1-0 or maybe even 2. It's only 1, but purely thanks to Richardson. He might have been at fault for the first goal, but he certainly stopped them scoring a second there and has done so again. Pumps forward, can we win that? Knox has done excellently. Advantage played actually for a foul. Fleming. Edwards is moving. Where's Salinas? That's who I was looking for, but he just wasn't in the right position. Knox. Fleming. Edwards here again. Edwards. Salinas. And surely from here we have an equalising goal. Nacho again. And we're level at Patreon Park. And with 20 minutes to go, we're making the change to take the giant man there, Lasse Schultz, off. I haven't enjoyed him, I'll be honest. He's not been great on debut. There's still time to learn how to use him, obviously, but not an immediate clicking feeling with our new winger. On comes McDonald. Oh, Salinas gets the tackle. Oh, my God. Oh, Edwards. He's still going. Tom Edwards doing it all himself here. Edwards. Dieng. Oh, does just enough. Immediately from kickoff, they nearly throw it all away, Queen's Park Rangers. Edwards will deliver the corner. It's decent. Salinas underneath. Bustamante can knock this down. Fleming is on his left foot. Here's McDonald off the bench. McDonald in the box. The angle's tight. And Dieng does enough again. Nearly. Still, it comes forward. Salinas trying to get the edge on the defender. He's done well, but his header is wide. All right. Out we go, please, Mitch. That's what you call dominating your opponent physically. Fleming's done brilliantly there. We'll look for Salinas, who has Vilk, who will look for Edwards, who might just have been onside there. He was! The beautiful little lofted finish, and QPR have thrown it away. Bottled, not once but twice, the opportunity to get through to the quarter-final round of the FA Cup. He's only just got there, Tom Edwards, but by reaching that outstretched left foot, he just gets there ahead of the keeper and just gets it inside the post. Good header. Edwards back to Vilk. Fleming. It's down the defender. Kai to seal the win. Nope. Kai Connick is definitely past it now. And next season, we might well have to look at getting a new secondary striker. The fans are roaring because there's 4 minutes added on. It's both roars of joy from the QPR fans because they still feel they've got time to get back in it, and roars of disapproval from my fans who feel like 4 minutes is way too much to add on in this game. And here they come now through Piontek. It's a heavy touch. It's an excellent tackle. And the referee's pointed to the spot. Are you sure? Drama in stoppage time in the FA Cup. Did he get to that? I thought it was perfectly timed. I can't quite believe it. Murphy comes across here. I was just trying to block any potential shot. He's come across and he goes seemingly through Piontek's foot. Piontek's foot gets planted, but that is him connecting with the ball as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that should be a penalty. Queen's Park Rangers with a chance to send us to extra time in the last minute, which they won't. Oh, sweet, sweet justice for Ruben Rodriguez. Makes the save. Murphy will certainly have to go and thank his keeper, and Ruben comes for the corner again, and exactly the same ending to the game as happened in the first leg, or first game, only this time we were in front through AFC Chesnoid to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Queen's Park Rangers bottle it twice to knock a Premier League side out of this famous competition. We certainly deserved it this time around. Much better in the second half than we were in the first in both games. And then having to save a penalty late on, and he left it late to dive, did Ruben Richardson, and I certainly got a little bit worried about that. Samaras bitching about not being in that game despite the fact that he was tired and needed a rest. Chill, mate, chill. McCloskey transfer bid, that's exactly what we were after. We can accept that and he can go out next season. And Ismail Osorio is 72 rated. Physically, really decent. Technically, good as well. I think Osorio will be a player we will look to buy at the beginning of the next season as well. Unless we find someone else to come in and replace Castro in the starting lineup. But for now, we can't do anything transfer-wise for this year. Lavery, I want to sell anyway. He wants to go. He can go. There's going to be a high turnover next season, I think. If we can assure our Premier League survival, then we're going to look to kick on next year and take the squad a step further. But for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop the video a like if you have. Signings made. Thank you very much. Right, I shall see you in the next one. Ta-ta.